Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Ranwin Parked Show podcast thingamajig, where myself, Cone Dodger, Kurt J. Mac, and ZK look at cars for sale around the world-ish. Because, frankly, we are just too lazy to look anywhere else besides the States. Although that has been something that has been requested of us, is to do one that's like a international special or something. I feel like we need
Each
some.
country has like their own little thing though, and Facebook only does the 100 miles. It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. We need like experts. Like we need to hire some. Well, hire. We need to we we need to enlist the help of some international guests. I think to make that happen. So for this week, just your normal bog standard Ranwin Parked experience.
Woohoo! No themes.
No themes.
Bog standard.
I didn't throw a theme at anybody at the last second for once. Everybody's very happy about it. Do we have any news? Anything interesting?
I think we all have news a little bit.
A little bit.
We do?
Oh, well, I'm going to start with my little bit of news. And that's kind of like twofold. Number one, I have driven the ramp truck for the very first time since it, like appeared in my life. And boy, howdy, that's an experience.
Have you done a burnout yet?
I mean, I did. Honestly, the first time I drove it, I did a burnout because I didn't realize the first gear was a granny gear, and I just kind of like brought the revs up and dropped the clutch, and it didn't move anywhere physically, but it did spin the tires.
Yeah, I want to see those good 3-mile-an-hour burnouts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about all that business. The transmission's very interesting. It's like having a conversation with somebody in a different language that you kind of like vaguely know, but you can get there, like you get to the point eventually, but there was a lot of missteps along the way. I'd love to see Kurt try it and just immediately turn the vehicle off, get out, and just walk home.
I'm done here. This is too much.
It's kind of frustrating when you get it wrong because the punishment for getting it wrong is you have to come back to a complete stop. So that's it's a little daunting.
How was it driving at 55 versus, say, the Corolla was?
It's totally different because versus the Corolla, it has the power. Like, it's surprisingly quick. I'm heavily leaning towards the fact that it has a 390 in it because it's, for as big as that thing is, there's no reason it should move like it does. The difference is the Corolla at highway speeds, it drives fine. Like, it's a little bouncy, but it drives straight. There's no play in the steering. Everything's great. The truck is very much so a truck. It's more like sailing than it is driving, basically. You just kind of, look for the waves, and as it's bobbing its way down the road, you just try and keep it somewhat pointed between the lines. It's an experience.
Yeah, your video was you were doing a lot of wheel work for trying to go straight down the road.
I made it look worse than it is because the road I was on was particularly bad, like very rutted. So I think that made it look pretty awful. But in the coming weeks, I would say within the next 3 weeks maximum, it will be making a journey north as I am moving. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I guess that's the other the second part of your news is that you're getting your own garage.
Oh yeah, I am getting my own garage. Like I've always
And a lawn for plenty of mistakes.
yeah, almost an acre of land to put cars on.
You need fertilizer.
I got one Ford to bring there already. The one thing that I haven't determined yet is if the ramp truck fits in the garage. Even though the garage is bigger than the one I'm in now, the doors are very small. And I'm not sure it will fit through the doors.
It'll be fine.
Even if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll find something else to put in the garage. But yeah, it's an old like stock car, short track car shop from many years ago that hasn't. It's like a tomb. It hasn't been opened since like 1996. So lots of old goodies in there to get through as well.
Garaged when parked.
It's kind of like a barn find garage, except the barn is the barn part of it.
Barn
instead
find
of,
barn.
Yeah, there was no car inside of it, just the barn. That's it for me. Kurt, we'll give you some more time to think about what your news is. ZK.
What did I do?
My little bit of news was just I've been working on the Saab and I built my first exhaust, sort of. So that was fun.
Buy our Saab.
Actually, fire Saab. But yeah, like, I don't know. That was a lot of fun and an experience, and it sounds way meaner than it is.
It sounds rowdy. You'll have to send me a little clip of it so I can put it in here.
Sure.
He'll never do that.
That's way too difficult.
Has working on it made you not want to sell it?
No.
Oh, that's good. Good job. Proud of you. Very proud.
Mostly because out of all of our cars, I won't say it's the most useless, but it's the one that I have the least used for.
Mm-hmm. Well,
all my cars fulfill a role, and its roles are taken up by other cars
okay.
that are better at those roles.
Fair. That is fair. All right, Kurt, your news?
What is my news? Are we talking about the fact that I got in an accident?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yes.
that's
Yes.
You haven't officially said that on here.
No, yes. My first accident, might I add. Been driving for 21 years now.
Kurt's
And
old.
my first accident. I'm sold. Do the math yourself.
He actually
yeah,
started
just,
driving when he was 7.
Yeah. Little do you know. Yeah, just your bog standard rear end collision. I was in the front, so it's not my fault. So now I'm just waiting for the other two insurance companies of the other two drivers to figure out between them whose fault it was, so I can get my own car fixed. I was not driving the Corolla, and obviously I already sold the SVX. I was driving my 2015 Crosstrek, and just right in the bumper.
Right in the bumper.
Right in the bumper. My
That means
bumper.
you can't, like, sell it now, though.
Why?
Because now you have, like, diminished value.
That
and
does
this
not.
and
That's not true anymore.
I was kind of like, ah. I
I
know, like, pretty much every car has had some sort of accident, but
Right.
if there is a car without an accident, it's like, ooh, look at my Carfax.
Yeah, but you're not
Just
the.
don't report it.
You're not going to. Yeah, it's a little late now. You're not the type that's going to like be private selling this thing and trying to say that this is an accident-free example. I feel
Right.
like if you were going to get rid of that thing, it would be going to CarMax or whoever.
Right, unless, yeah, I don't know what to expect from those sorts of things, but yeah, that would be the easiest thing to avoid having to privately sell a newer car.
And it's just a bumper cover, I think, judging by what
Yeah.
you talked about.
Yeah, it should just be the bumper cover. But yeah, I'm just now it's been over a week because it was last Sunday and we're recording this on Monday, the following Monday, and just I'm bad at making phone calls, and now I have to make phone calls to my insurance, and then they're probably going to tell me to call the other people's insurance, which is just a silly way that insurance works. And
It really sucks that you get hit by somebody and then you have to do work to get that fixed. I feel like that's just crap.
right, like it should be my insurance company does the legwork.
Right. That's what you pay them for.
Exactly.
Makes me very mad. Yeah, because I got really mad because the very first time I got hit, it was almost identical to what you were describing. Just one of those situations where I was like, well, I stopped, but I can tell that this car behind me is not going to stop.
Right.
And then, of course, they did eventually hit me. But I was in my very first 240, which was, it looked like a golf ball already. Like the thing had been hit everywhere possible. So I got out and was like, "Oh man, you dented this thing real bad." And the guy was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because it was the same thing where 2 cars hit, and then I was the one in front that got hit. And me and the other guy that got hit was like, "All right, here we'll start exchanging information." The other guy goes to exchange information, and we hear his van start up and peel out and leave.
Marvelous.
Unfortunately, he did stop, and we had already gotten his like name and his license plate, so I don't know what his grand plan was. I ended up getting his insurance information. They without even they came out to look at it, but the guy like literally wrote a check for $500 that day, and I was elated. That was like half of the car's value for damage that had already been done. Really, all he did was make it worse.
Yeah, my first accident was in my first 240 on the way home from getting its like first inspection. Like it didn't even have plates yet. And it was like a T intersection, and this kid who didn't even have his license was at the stop sign on the like long part of or like the part that actually tees into the other road. So I had right away, and then he just pulls out in front of me and I was in an S13, no ABS, nothing. And it was wet. Yeah, slam on the brakes and just slide into him. And so it like dented the headlight cover.
Hmm.
But he was in a, Mercury Cougar, and his whole like front A-arm got bent in.
Good job.
And I was like, he didn't have his license or insurance, and I was just really pissed. But he got the short end of the stick, and it was like a $20 cover or something that I found. Or
Right.
like I had a spare in the garage at that point
Yeah.
anyway.
I like that it was your first 240, but like I already got spare parts for it.
Yeah.
That's the life. All right. Good news, everybody. Good news. Great news segment. Good job.
Good news.
Good news.
The best of news.
Thank you.
news.
Thank you,
Especially
Kurt,
for Kurt.
for getting hit. I mean, if you're gonna have to experience a car accident in your life, that's the kind you want to have to experience, where it's just like bump, bump, bump. Everybody moves on with their life once they make phone calls. Eventually.
Phone calls.
All right, well, let's move on with our lives then and move to Ran When Parked. I'm going to go in the standard order this week so that I can show everybody my
My new
1982
car. Oh wait, oh.
Chevrolet Caprice Estate was running when parked. However, it is a diesel 1982 Chevrolet Caprice. How about that?
Did they make those?
I did not know up until now, but they took the gas engine, shoved some diesel through it, and called it a diesel.
I mean, as a GM wagon aficionado, this is horrible.
In every way possible.
It's like, did it used to have wood on the side? Or is it just like cream on white two-tone?
The wood graphics have rotted off. However, the diesel badge is still there, which is kind of neat. The wood on the inside's still there. And
The interior looks surprisingly okay.
yeah, it's not bad. But look at the gauges. Like the gauges, instead of having a tach here, it's the world's largest temperature gauge. It's the size of a tachometer. But no, just wait. That's also the fuel gauge is that giant needle, and the volt gauge is that size of needle. So they just
Well-
used the same needle for all 4 gauges.
Well, I guess their market is, those of an older description. So maybe it's just, for bad eyesight.
Perhaps.
Also, I like that the speedo goes up to 85.
Ooh, yeah, I'm sure. Could you
So
imagine?
halfway straight up is 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, but imagine the sound of a clattering small block V8 running diesel.
It's probably like a Mitsubishi like 4-cylinder diesel or something that they borrowed.
The information
doubt
I
this is-
found is older previous generation Chevy, or actually Olds small blocks that were converted to run diesel. That's what they were using.
Wow,
They're
that's bad.
They're bad. But also the quality of the mold and mildew on this is primo.
Oh yeah, 5.7 liter Oldsmobile diesel,
Yeah, there you go.
105 horsepower
Ooh.
out of 5.7 liters.
Imagine trying to get this thing running and going. I mean, it's probably dead simple, but it's also probably real smog overloaded too. Unless they were
Yeah.
using diesel to bypass that.
We've seen this on the older wagons. It has the little wind deflector, but that looks like integrated into the roof rack.
Probably one of my favorite features there. Yeah, the wind deflector roof rack. That's pretty good.
Seamless.
Seamless. Also, can we note the fact that the rust on the back has started to mimic wood grain?
Right.
That's
That's not
really
rust.
impressive.
That's nice burl wood. It's perfect.
Oh man, Christmas ready too. Missed out. Where are we gonna store the Christmas tree? Put it in the Caprice.
Wait, is that a Cadillac badge?
I don't think so. I think the Caprice had its own badge back in the day. I think that was like
Because that looks a lot like the weird Cadillac crown. What do you call that?
yeah, I don't know what to call it. It's like a wing crest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was certainly a unique thing that somebody has unearthed here and has decided to try and sell for $2,000.
It looks like it came out of the ground.
25 years ago, parked like this.
Just put it under that little sapling that's out there. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Exterior color, off-white. Alrighty. Interior color, brown.
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 Speaking of brown,
That's brown.
can I interest you in a 1969 Barracuda convertible for $1,000?
Is it a convertible or has it been convertibilized?
Recently purchased this classic. It's a classic at an insurance auction. Speaking of insurance, and apparently they made a great mistake. The only person who bid, and they're like, "Uh-oh, I did not intend this."
This was a joke.
That sounds familiar.
There's not a major dent or ding on it, apparently. The low blue book for this car or cat, restored with standard parts, is around $15,000. Super rare because most are not convertibles, but this one is. Trust me. Don't miss your chance. Don't miss your chance to have this post-apocalyptic, scorched, burnt,
Well,
completely
Shell
destroyed.
of what used to be supposedly a Barracuda.
well,
Yes.
what's his face? Not Freiberger. Dolchak has a Barracuda that's called the Barracuda because he bought it and then it was in California during the fires and it was cooked. Not quite as bad as this one, but even he was like, I love this car and it's in great shape. But once they're burned like this, they're not the same. Like, just because it has the same shape and it looks like it's, in your mind, you're like, yeah, just paint it again, right? And it'd be fine. No, metal is not a fan of being heated. And it changes. Like, this car is done. It will never be the same.
Yeah, if you ever look up heat treating or tempering, this is bad.
Bad. I mean, maybe, I guess it's one of those deals where, like, you're buying a VIN. Like, you're buying a 90 or a 69 Barracuda VIN. Maybe if that hasn't melted off.
They do. One of the pictures is of the VIN plate, so I think that might be the sales line on this one.
I guess the fire was in the front, huh? Because the back's in a little better shape.
I was gonna say, like, the bumpers are still chrome, and those should also have been burnt off.
I mean, you
Well,
can see,
no,
you
the
can
front's
tell.
got some-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's changing, and yeah, it must have just been the front half that was taking the brunt of the. It's probably the same deal, or it was in California and was near a fire, and yeah, there's the value.
Go back one picture. Oh yeah, you can see that the head or the taillights melted onto the rear bumper.
Oh yeah, and the mirrors have melted down. She's
Yeah, this is
she's cooked.
this isn't even scrap.
If it were any other car, yeah. But like I said, people want the VIN. People want
I guess.
to be able to say that whatever they had was this. But this was in for a little bit too long. I am afraid.
You know that burnt popcorn smell?
Oh man.
For $1,000.
Imagine even if you did fix it, it just would always smell burnt.
These have the IAA watermark on them. If you're ever really bored, look at those auctions because there's some really strange things that are very wrecked there.
Yeah. Much like searching through Copart just to see, which is a YouTuber thing to do anymore. That's like one of those automotive YouTuber clickbait things is to go to Copart, buy a crashed expensive car, and quote unquote fix it. Like that's a hot thing to do.
Clickbait.
When in like the 80s, yeah, that was known as like a scam artist thing to do. Like that was like one of those super skeevy things to do was to take a salvage car, fix it up, and sell it like good as new. And now we're making YouTube videos about it being like, I'm so cool, I have an Audi R8 that's actually been wrecked and is bent in half. Such a weird thing. Now I would do it for like a fun race car that you could like crash into things and not care about. That'd be fun. Maybe a Saab.
The Saab is fine.
Not a car.
Another not a car. And let me preface this by almost the only reason I picked this was the name of this vehicle. It is a 2017 Ice Bear Mad Dog.
So is it a bear or a dog? This seems to have an identity crisis here.
It sounds like they just like threw a dart at a word or like a board of words and just came up with the name of this thing.
Oh, I see Ice Bear on the side of it.
Yeah, the Ice Bear is the brand and
Oh, okay.
Mad Dog is the model.
They're trying to really talk up this moped.
Yeah, it's basically a Ruckus clone. It's not very good. If you scroll to the pictures, this is supposedly only a couple years old, and it's got some issues.
Well, speaking
But
of
it's
that,
Ranwin Park.
this has to be the newest Ranwin Park we've ever had.
Right, I'm very surprised that 2017.
400 miles on this thing?
Yeah, it's like the handlebars are rusting and look at the brake fluid in there. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Like every little thing is corroded, and it's basically brand new, and it's falling apart. And that's the problem with a lot of these like Chinese clone, small engine vehicles, if you will. Like the little go-kart I have has a lot of these same types of problems.
I mean,
But I
true
do-
of the large things too.
That phone holder, I guess, looks like it has a face.
Oh yeah.
Hug me.
Can't unsee.
Yep.
Is that the
But I do
intake on the
really
left
wanna-
side? I don't know enough about these. Like, there's the exhaust on the right. What's this thing over here on the left?
That's the engine.
No, what is this? Like, what's this
Oh,
intake
that?
tube?
I have no idea.
Pretty weird.
Maybe
looking.
it's an intake tube.
Yeah, but it looks like
Or
an
like-
exhaust.
No,
Installed it the wrong way.
Yeah. And this rear tire that looks very
stretched.
yeah, looks like it would not ride very good.
Yeah, it has the look of like a Ruckus that's been modified with a stretched rear arm and everything. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm
But I
trying to
do
think
really
of
want a
the-
Ruckus. So
The
this
riding
would be-
position.
It's
I'm doing the math in my head and
Yeah.
the geometry. It doesn't make sense.
well, if you try to imagine Kurt on there, it looks real ridiculous. If you try to imagine like Bonka on there, then it's like, okay. If you try to
Yeah, maybe
me on
your
there,
scale is off a bit, Kurt. It's very tiny.
yeah, it's tiny.
That does not help.
If you picture me on there, it'd just be on its side. I think this is gonna be a record that will be hard to beat for the newest Ranwin Park. Good job.
It's funny because like I bought it for this person for their birthday gift, and they didn't write it.
Well, I don't know that I blame them. Maybe they were cart size. You're like, I don't fit on this thing.
My knees block the side view mirror.
Ice Bear Mad Dog.
That's a name right there. That name was a mistake even. I'd make that mistake. Well, I wouldn't make the mistake of that kind of name. But my mistake this week is
Buy it.
legitimate. Like, this is on the way to where I'm moving, and I have to bring the ramp truck up. And I'm like, well, I guess the 240 could stay in Florida a little longer, right? If this thing had a title, it would be coming back with me. But it does not as of now. It is a 1965 Datsun NL320 truck. For $1,000. It is a barn find with no title, and it legitimately does appear to be of such type. And it is just the most nuggety of little trucks that I've ever seen, and I love it.
$1,000 is a little much for a lawn ornament. So if it did have a title, this would be
Right. If it
yeah.
did have a title, I would honestly, I'm not even kidding, I would have a hard time saying no to this thing. Because they're just super cool looking. It's like a mini, it's the closest thing to a Ute we ever got here. Because these are unibody. They're not like the Datsun, the Datsun is a body on frame, truck. This 1965 1189cc 60 horsepower tiny truck is very different.
Wheelbase 2,470 millimeters.
It is unfortunately pretty grotty. Like
Yeah.
a lot of, I don't think the lot is missing from here. These are just that simple that this is literally it. The carburetor's just covered in saran wrap.
The engine is as big as the battery.
Right. Yeah. These are tiny, they are small, and they are slow. But when in nice shape, they are so freaking cute. I want it.
How much do like decent ones of these? There
I
can't be
can't
many
tell
of
you
these,
because I
period.
can't find any.
I've never heard of these before.
I've heard of them, but never have seen one for sale. So when I
Got
saw
the
it,
front end of the Roadster.
yeah, very much so.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of all Datsuns and even like the Toyotas and Subarus of the era kind of have this similar look to them, where they look Americana, but just like on 3/4 scale. But even in grotty shape, it's still, yeah, it's a nice lawn ornament, isn't it?
Like it looks fairly complete, even though it's in bad shape.
Right.
Like, I think the only thing that's missing is like the seats, and I don't know if the tailgate's missing because there's like half a tailgate.
Yeah, I think it's got like
That's just the way
a
it came.
different tailgate on it. And the front's missing like those headlight bezels. Are you ever gonna find those headlight bezels? No, you are not.
You could probably take them off a Mini or something.
Yeah, I mean, they're not super complicated or anything. But if there is anything missing for this, as hard as it has been to find stuff for the 620, which is 15 years newer and common, this stuff is unobtainium at this point.
Yeah. Like, imagine trying to find the windshield.
Right. But just look at that shape. It's so cool.
Okay, so as a lawn ornament,
Mm-hmm.
how much is this worth?
$400. Without a
Agreed.
title, $400. That's about the point where I would be like, I'm gonna go get it, I guess. And this is the
You
danger.
could probably get it like running, kinda.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I would want it to be like running, putz around a little bit with it and smile, and then leave it somewhere for somebody else in the future to be like, man, I want that. Pretty cool.
Maybe you should talk them down to $400.
I will answer to the best of my knowledge. You don't have any knowledge about this either. Don't lie to us. And Kurt Jamak.
Me mixing it up with
Speaking of
some
Mercury
American
Cougars,
muscle. We got a 1967 Mercury Cougar.
I always knew Kurt went for the Cougars.
Listen, I've been driving for 21 years. I don't think that counts anymore.
Yeah, that's
Do the
true.
math. So yeah, here's what I think is decently priced based on how it looks. 67 Mercury Cougar in Seattle here. An alternate option, as is often the theme here, to say a Mustang. For someone who's like, oh, I'd be interested in a Mustang, but just not all that comes along with a Mustang.
For me, I always thought the Cougar was better looking. Like, I just thought they were better cars, personally. I never was a big fan of the Mustang of the era.
is it
I
just
honestly
like, is it the same car with just a different front clip?
Uh-huh.
'Cause
I mean, they were more dramatically different then than they are now. Like, it's not quite badge engineering, but they are very much so the same car.
Yeah, because I do like this front end kind of with the hidden headlights.
Right.
Yeah, it's a good look. It's a little bit more like the Mustang. The first generation and generations of the Mustang were kind of just a little bit more sedate. They weren't very muscle car-y. They looked, I guess they weren't muscle cars. Like they were supposed to be like a pony car, and they just kind of looked a little soft and a little beautified. Versus the Cougar.
You're just trying to avoid saying girly, aren't you?
It's not that it's not even
Oh, gosh.
girly. The first generation were chick cars. Like that's not deniable. Like they were known as that. But it's just they looked like they were designed, like they were over designed to me. Versus the Cougar was a bit more like, here, I cut the clay and here it is, sell the damn thing. And I like that more than the trying to make it look something fancy. And this, yeah, it just looks pretty plain.
Yeah. Pretty plain. That's cool. Gotta love hidden headlights, but no, yeah, I'd. It's hard to be into muscle cars, being as how, unavailable they are at any sort of price range. So finding the off nominal ones, such as a Cougar, or there was like a Pontiac Nova, but I forgot what it was called, something else.
Oh, the
Tempest is the word in my mind, but that's not the right one.
no, it's the
I honestly, I had another ad, and I was like, between that one and this one,
Cubes will
this
tell
one
us.
had
It'll
more
be fine.
pictures. Yeah,
Did that one have a windshield wiper bag though, Kurt?
a windshield wiper bag.
Hanging on the side right here?
Oh, you mean the fluid bag?
Yep,
I
when
don't
you-
think so.
When you needed to refill it, you could just like take it
it
out
off
and
the
put
clip.
more in it.
honestly
bag's
this
empty.
one. This looks like a pretty good runner. Like it's
Yeah.
supposedly a 351 Windsor.
Yeah, it's a 351 with a, I think it's a
4
351.
or 5 speed. I don't know what that is.
Clevo. Yeah, it's a
Quite tell
Cleveland.
from the picture.
With
Oh,
a top
Cleveland,
load-
not Windsor.
Yeah, with top loader, 4-speed, 4-barrel, 750 feet. It's CFM corner. This is the perfect run around, don't take it to car shows, but just enjoy kind of car.
Mm-hmm. And the interior looks in good shape. Like you wouldn't feel bad about driving this one.
I mean, you might feel bad about what driving it like is doing, but but you wouldn't feel bad about putting miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, parking in a parking lot or whatever.
That's cool. I enjoy that.
Indicators.
Yeah,
And the hood cowl.
I enjoy it. That'd be quite a shift, Kurt, from a SVX to a Cougar.
Hey, I gotta diversify my portfolio, don't you know? I don't know what that means at all, but
I don't either. You just turned into Brian for a moment there.
Marketing, advertising, branding.
I dig it.
I dig it too.
And ZK, what are you digging?
So this isn't a mistake I would make, but this is a mistake. And I finally found one of these near me, and that is a truck converted vehicle. This happened to be a 71 Chevelle.
You realize the like super irony in this, right?
What's that?
The fact that there is a truck version of this. Like they didn't even have to do this. Oh boy.
And I'm pretty sure they did cut apart a Chevelle rather than starting with. I don't know. This thing is really weird. It's got like a 50s bed on it,
Yeah.
and it's a 71 Chevelle in the front.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That
it
is
looked
not
like it
well
was
done.
A little bit sagging in the middle, I feel. There's some asymmetry going on there.
Right. Yeah. Well, this body line, is supposed to do things back here. Like it's supposed to come back up and, complete the rest of the vehicle. And now it's just like,
And it's like a 20-year-old, like 20-year older design bed that does not match visually at all.
no.
Like it's not like they cut like the back of the cab out and like welded up the fenders. No, they just chopped it in half and put a 50s bed on.
It seems like a shorter door, too, than a Chevelle.
It might be a
Yeah,
four-door
start with a
Chevelle.
four-door.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I'm just like, something ain't adding up here.
Which is why the body lines look so weird, because there should be another door here that has like the same swoops to it.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a bed-ish.
Mm-hmm. And I also picked this because we know someone with a four-door Chevelle that would be
Right.
very angry at this.
Mhm. I can hear him like cursing audibly in the future.
Fender mirrors, too?
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be a roll bar or just a light bar with the cheapest EBS lights I've ever seen?
Is that an adjective now?
I just made it.
I like that there's like 3 different brands of light here too. We got the blue ones, some white ones, and then an LED in the middle. And when I say I like it, I hate it. I hate everything about it. Still with the original like sedan's bumper on there too in the back. I hate it.
That is a mistake.
Please don't make the mistake.
No. $1,200 though.
I mean, okay, here's how you could bring this around. $1,200, go make the mistake of wasting $1,200 to go buy this thing and put it out of its misery. The world
Take it
will
out
thank
into
you.
like a rally cross or something.
Right, yeah, give it some
Like
kind
a
of
grocery
glorious
something
end.
until it dies.
Right. Yes, that would be a fitting end.
For $1,200, yeah, I could see it being in like a demo derby or something.
I don't think it's going to do well there. That thing's going to crumple right in the middle. Well, that was interesting. These vehicles should also be interesting. I picked one that's very not me, but this Olds struck me in a way because it has an interesting design feature that I don't ever seen. I don't remember ever having
It
seen.
struck you?
It
Does
struck
he have
me.
insurance?
Is it the plaid front grille?
It's not that, even though that's kind of cool. So this is a 60 Olds 88, which is confusing. There's a YouTube video down there if you would like to see it running and not smoking, apparently. 95,000 original miles. So it's a sedan 88. And that might be why I've never seen this, because usually you see coupes as like the ones people keep around. And it has, the typical caddy interior, but look at this butt. Have you ever
All
seen
the chrome.
taillights like this? Like the fins usually are up and down. But on this one, they're horizontal. With Oldsmobile stretched across 6 feet of trunk as well.
I think there's a reason we don't see this.
Because it's bad? Because I thought it was
It looks
pretty
like
cool.
Vader's helmet.
Ah, that's what I'm like, it's upside down. It's looking like a face. Yeah.
And then these additional lights on the bottom that I assume would have been like backup lights, maybe?
Reverse? Yeah.
I thought it was a kind of cool design. Certainly very, very much so unique. The rest of it's just very 60s caddy, which Isn't a bad
Are
thing.
those actually gauges for the passenger, or are those?
It's just just fake stuff to give you the. It says 88
Yeah,
spelled
it
out.
says 88 spelled out. Yeah,
I like how Kurt
This
was
is
like
like-
leaning into the monitor there, and we could hear him
I was.
getting louder.
I do like the 2-spoke steering wheel.
Oh yeah, those are good. So that's what they're supposed
Super
to look
big,
like.
super thin.
They didn't actually provide us any pictures that you could even see that it was a sedan, though, which is pretty skeevy. Like every
Where is
picture
this?
they show is not of the side, so you would have no idea. I guess to try and drum up interest, but I mean for
What year is
2600,
this again?
1960.
Okay, because it looks like a straight 50s car.
Well, yeah, yes, it's only a year later than that.
And it was like, add all the chrome.
It was mildly interesting to me. Mostly just the taillights. That was the part that I was
Look
just like, that's gotta go.
Yeah, those are, let's call it unique.
Unique. It's unique. And good luck
But
fixing the
look at
one that got stepped on.
The molding of the front windshield,
Right. Where's that?
it's like wrap around and
Just like a 57 Chevy, right? That was kind of an era thing there where I guess it was like, why curve the roof when we could curve the windshield? I don't know what the design language was there. And Kurt.
I have
Buy
for
it.
you. Buy it. I almost put this in the mistakes I'd make category, but I'm not much of a 4x4 person, so I probably wouldn't. But I have a 1989 Nissan Safari, in parentheses, Patrol. I don't know what that indicates, but
It's just indicating what they were called in other places so people could have that street cred.
this one is a right-hand drive import, and it's a two-door off-roader from Nissan that we never got, and it's got a cool look.
Yeah.
It's got very big tires.
it's very
Working-
Dakar.
It's very, yes, thank you. It is like a Safari or Dakar sort of looking.
Yeah, I kind of like the
Endurance
graphics package.
off-roader.
Like the decals and whatnot. Usually that stuff's a little not my taste, but in this case, it's pretty cool. Yeah, for most people, when they saw this, they'd be like, nice Jeep. Or a nice Land Cruiser.
No, I want this.
Oh, now he wants it.
Is it what engine
It's
is it?
a naturally aspirated diesel, is what it said.
Oh, okay. Because the
4.2
engine
liter.
looks very RB. Like, it looks very...
I think it's probably related.
Probably. Yeah, just the way that it looks. Two-seater. Maybe a back
Well, it
seat
looks like
was
the
there.
rear seat. It looks like it folds down, or maybe it comes out and they just don't have it.
Oh, zebra pattern car seat covers there. That's a plus.
It's got the passenger handle to hold on.
It
in the
does.
dash.
It does. How much monies?
Lots.
They wanted
Too
11
much.
grand.
That's many monies.
That
That's
is many
so many
monies.
monies. I guess it's probably a really good off-roader, not something that's very common here, but I don't have
I feel like
the monies for that.
for the same money, you could get same or less. You could get a Pajero Evo, maybe. And
I feel like you could
much,
get
much
7
cooler.
Jeeps though. and have the same effect.
disposable.
I don't know. Jeeps hold their
One-use
value.
Jeeps.
Yeah, but there's a lot of cheap Jeeps. Is this 7 times better than 7 Jeeps? I don't know.
It looks better than a Jeep.
It's got an altimeter. How do you say that?
Altimeter.
Altimeter
It does.
and an inclometer.
Inclinometer.
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 That sounds fake. That's not how that's said, is it?
Incline meter.
Yeah, I don't think that's the word I think you're missing something in there.
Inclinometer.
Kilometer.
Huh. That's,
Oh yeah, he says here the rear seat is gone. I've never bothered replacing it.
Nah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of monies for this. It's cool, but that's a lot of monies.
Mildly interesting, mildly overpriced, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
But just mildly. Oh, here's another mildly overpriced vehicle.
No, this is perfectly priced.
Passing out from the mildness.
A 1995 Geo Metro EFI for $2,900.
Mm-hmm.
It's only got
EFI in 1995.
only 79,000 miles on it.
Uh-huh.
And it is one of those why is it so clean Geo Metros that we somehow come across.
It is absurdly clean.
And only 79,000 miles. Like most people bought these and put like 300,000 miles on them.
This is more literature about this vehicle than Geo used to sell them new. Like, there's
Just
more
you
words in
wait.
this ad.
Just you
Holy Jesus. He keeps going.
This, what would you call this? Teal car?
Mm-hmm.
Does kind of look like it just came off the lot though.
True.
Like the engine bay is clean, no dust. The paint looks perfect. Headlights aren't fogged. The interior doesn't look worn at all.
Rest of the car is missing.
And it's the only one you'll find for sale in Austin.
Okay.
They mentioned the ad like 3 or 4 times.
Uh-huh. It's absurdly clean. There's no dents. There's no scratches. The hubcaps are there
It's got the spare tire.
with wrench. Jesus.
And yep, can't find it on Craigslist either.
Mm-hmm. But at what point is that a good thing? Because these aren't good. Like,
I don't think they're bad.
but they're not good.
I think they're one of like the epitome like transportation vehicles.
Sure. But I feel like they're trying to say that this is something special because it's in good shape, when the reality is...
The screw in the
That screw is rusty.
All right.
yeah.
Well, you just got to throw this thing out then.
Give you $400.
How
and
much?
they have all the
It was
original sticker. The
it was
original manual.
10.5 new in 95. That's like half the price of a 240.
And they want 29, I think is what they said.
I think it was maybe less than that.
I think
no,
in the
29.
text it said 29, but I think the original. Oh, it still says. I thought it said 2,000.
I don't think anybody's gonna pay that much money for this, though. I really don't. Maybe they will. Maybe I just don't understand. Maybe I do understand that these tires are so
Those-
cheap that you can see where they're seamed together. That's
Those beautiful high class Uniroyal tires.
that's not good. That's bad.
But I would put this in this weird kind of Radwood-esque survivor category.
Yeah.
And I was like, someone kept one of these nice.
The most interesting thing about this car is that it was kept nice. That is for sure. But some people are just that way. Some people are very respectful of the things that they own. And they're like, no, this is my car. I'm going to keep it nice. Versus other people.
Parked out in the middle of the street.
Right. Versus other people are like, oh, it's just a Metro. Slam into the
Yeah,
mailbox
last-
or whatever.
Metro we have was also pictures taken like our way in the street.
Oh, yeah.
Seems
So
to be a
that-
theme.
That $10,000 sticker price in 1995
Mm-hmm.
today is $16,800. So this is a steal.
Mm.
$16,000.
All right.
But then again, what can you buy for 16 grand?
Yeah, what's the cheapest car for sale right now?
It's probably a Versa still.
I was
maybe?
thinking maybe the Mirage, if that's still
Ooh.
around.
Do they still sell those?
I don't know that they still sell them. Start doing your research there.
I do know that for a while you could get like this one dealership in Florida was selling Chevy Sparks for like 11 grand.
Oh, yeah. Those were very cheap as well. All right. That That was extraordinarily mild.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Where are we?
Let me fan myself.
yeah, I need a cigarette from that mildness. Get it mild cigarette, then that they were a brand. Anyway,
We have kids.
oh sorry.
Continue.
Don't smoke. To wrap up, last episode we asked who had the best Ranwin Park purchase of 2019. Now, so far, none of us have added to the 2020 fleet yet. That Datsun might end up. That's true. But the poll had some interesting results. In last place is Kurt J. Mack and ZK, as they both had 26% of the vote. And the winner of the best Ranwin Park purchase of
That's pretty
2019
close.
is me at 47%. So 47 to 26 and 26.
If you think about like evenly split, it's 33%. That's really close. And I think this is our first tie.
That's definitely our first tie. That's the first time I've ever seen them tied, and not the first time that I've seen them not out of 200. Because that just seems to be physically impossible for these polls somehow. So thank you, everybody. Me and, as it's now known to be named, Jesse the Ramp Truck will accept our award and our trophy that will never exist open-heartedly. But
Quick, insert a MS Paint trophy into the video.
will do, maybe. I don't know, so far I haven't had to do... Oh, I do have to do some editing to add your sob video in. Dang it.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. I already gotta cut it open, right? Now for the first...
while you're in there.
Yeah. Don't ever tell your doctor that. The first best ad competition of 2020
That's not true. Well, I guess. Okay.
is starting with the best, for me, Bamboozle. As I saw this ad as I was scrolling through for a 1960 Cadillac Escalade EXT that is certainly not a Cadillac Escalade EXT. I guess it's like a Cadillac El Camino shaped thing.
Is this a picture of a real car?
The first picture is for attention on how it could look. Truly awesome car, rare titled and registered 1960 pickup, original motor in it. No, it has not run in a while. You ready for it? Yep. Now,
I immediately saw the dog.
right. I'm only hoping that the dog comes with. I don't. Is this real? Is this actually supposed to be a pickup? Because it doesn't look real.
It might
I
be
mean,
like
what else
that,
could it be though?
that one early episode where I found that pickup, but it was like a funeral flower car or something.
True. Could be.
Special use modified.
Could be.
Maybe it is modified, but like that's where the rear window ends, and then it's just flat.
Right. Could we, though, please give special accolades to this dog's performance to get in this picture? To get in this picture?
Ah!
Very, very, very good doggo there. And the last picture as well. I unfortunately can say no more because the person has asked, please keep your comments to yourself.
Oh, and they say, no, it's not a flower car. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Yes. We may not rebuttal, apparently. We have
Yes.
to keep that to ourselves.
If you can't afford it, don't like it, the price, keep your comments to yourself.
How much are they asking for this?
They are asking $3,500. If like
A lot
this,
of money for not a lot of car.
maybe it would be cool. But what a bamboozle to be scrolling through, look at this, and be like, wow, that's so cool. Oh.
Also, those body lines don't match up between those two cars.
Certainly don't. No, they certainly don't. This is custom. Like whatever we're looking at in this
Yeah.
picture is a render and it's custom and yeah. This is not that. At all.
No.
in any way.
I do like that render though.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. But we were bamboozled.
Literally not anything the same car.
Best doggo, though. Kurt.
Oh, if I got a bamboozle for you.
Hmm.
For $17,000, you can have a 65 Pontiac Grand Prix show car. And before you look at the other pictures, its nickname is Big Chief. What theme do you think they've taken in this show car build?
Indian?
Firefighter.
I think yes. Cone chose correctly. With the uncomfortable cultural appropriation theme.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's not good. It's not good.
I don't want to click
See,
anymore.
I was saying the red on the front fades to blue with the fire on this side. I was like, definitely a firefighter, right? Right? Come on, guys.
Right. No, I mean, it looks from
Holy
this side.
text, Batman.
Oh, yeah. They've also
Oh,
written you
God.
a novel about Big Chief here, winning Best in Show in various car thingies.
That's enough of
That
that.
was your chance
it.
for your own barn find. I don't think this is a barn find.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, from the outside, all right, not offensive.
You say that, I got a peek of the interior.
Yeah.
Oh, there's our first hint. The Big Chief on the front.
Mm-hmm.
The gold accents.
Oh, Lord.
Oh no.
Yeah, they really went all out.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. That's a picture that smells.
Yeah. I mean, it's offensive culturally, but also visually,
Visually.
and perhaps tactically.
Probably like, yeah, physically, like that. Probably not.
Oh, the brake pedal.
Oh no.
It's probably not safe.
No.
It's like your foot could get caught there.
But they polished the steering column, Kurt.
No, well, it's a show car, which, as you'll
But yes,
see,
the
it's not meant
Hawker
for driving.
Eagle- Oh no.
And this confuses me. A random Chicago Blackhawks logo. I don't know. I guess they ran out of Indian motifs
I will say that door looks very soft.
Oh, yeah.
for a bicyclist to run into when you're parallel parked.
Oh, we got like murals of
Airbrushed murals
Yeah.
CPs and
on the trunk, which are only visible when looking back on the trunk.
open.
Not if you were like standing, they'd be upside down with the trunk closed if you're standing behind the car.
Holy.
Yeah, comfort. Even
Is
your
that-
little 14-inch
Oh.
TV is draped in whatever fabric.
and
That
the
might be.
liquor. The liquor.
Yep.
Totally legal.
I'm just saying that's not a good look considering the context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Swing out seats are cool. I
none
think
of
those
this
were-
is a good look, CK. In any context, this is not a good look. Oh, clear valve covers. I haven't seen these in years.
Clear valve covers.
And all the extra fuel line.
And no spark plugs.
Oh yeah.
And no spark plugs.
I didn't even think of that. that in that big text there is, oh, you can drive it up onto a ramp or whatever, but it can't be driven more than down the road because it also has
Why would you ever want
a
this?
transparent differential housing.
Who is ever going to see this?
Show
More people will have seen this from this show that gets barely any views than have ever seen this in the real world.
Think of all the mirrors you could put down on the show floor.
Right next to the crying doll.
Yeah, this is a real. Oh, and then
Oh.
the etched. I don't know what this is. The underside of the hood, probably. I see the engine there.
I hate it.
Yes.
Here's pictures. This is an interesting.
They cut the ceiling to put the car in.
That's very.
You know what? I
interesting.
like this because I've considered doing this in my own garage.
That's some commitment right there. Okay. All
How much
right.
did they want for this?
I think 17 grand.
17,000.
Car you can't drive.
Okay,
And
so start a
shouldn't.
GoFundMe, $17,000 to destroy this awful thing.
Right, yeah, if you took out the interior
Mhm.
and all the other bits.
I think the only solution is fire.
Oh, this brings
It
us
should be the
full circle
Barracuda.
back to the
Full
Barracuda.
circle. I.
This is bad.
This is bad. I have a lot that I want to say that I need to just not say. So I need to go away from this.
Like, I'm offended.
Big yikes.
Big yikes. Yep, that was the only appropriate file name I could have chosen.
Good luck, ZK.
Okay.
What you got?
I got us a boat. Obviously, it's a boat because it's got the boat keychain.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 95 Cadillac Fleetwood, which is very, very similar to my Buick Roadmaster. Like, it's the same chassis, but this is just, happens to be a limo version of it.
Yeah, but it's got the Corvette motor. You gotta say it's got the Corvette motor.
Did they actually say that? In the
They
ad?
don't, but it does, and I'm surprised
Oh,
that they
yeah.
didn't, even though it doesn't.
But this one is special. It's $2,700.
God, it's slammed.
30 feet long, and it's slammed. It's actually got airbags. So you can drive it normally, and it's bagged, and it comes with these 20-inch spoked wheels.
On the front.
I don't know if it's the full set, but it mentions it in the ads.
I've only ever seen them on the
Slam
front.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. The interior's in good shape.
Does it come with all that cologne in the front seat?
God, I hope so.
This is so Texas. It's very Texas.
This is almost under. I almost put this under the mistakes I'd make. But it's literally too large for me to do anything with.
And quote on that one. All right, let me write that down for episode title. And we're good. Okay. Oh,
And
again
it
with the
has
classiness.
Excellent glassware, which I would insist would be included with the sale.
Absolutely. I mean, it's made for it. What else
Right,
are you
yeah,
gonna
the
do with
little
that?
cutouts fit exactly.
Can you tell what was parked here?
Oh yeah.
Uh,
So Cadillac's not good fertilizer.
apparently not. No. Apparently not.
I like how there's the random like candid shots of the car.
Yeah. Well,
These,
that
like other
is-
people's like posts to
Yeah.
Instagram.
I don't know. All I know is I kind of want it.
I think what I like the most is the fact that this somehow seats less people than your Roadmaster does.
Yeah, but this has a TV and its own liqueur bottles, so
You know it's fancy
here's the trade-off.
when the word liqueur is used.
And it has bags. I can buy this and put those bags on my car probably.
Probably could. All right, everybody. So make sure that you click the little exclamation point at the top right corner and vote for your best ad of the week, aka Kurt J. Mac, and let us know who you think had the best Kurt J. Max ad this week.
Best is interchangeable with worst,
Yeah,
just overall.
it truly is. It seems to be. It seems to be the actual theme of this category. All right, that is our show for this week. We would like to thank our sponsor, us, for doing this show every week.
I was gonna say, ooh, are we getting paid? No.
No, we are not. But thank you all for tuning in and watching and continuing to support Random Parked. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm very sorry.
We all are.